Oh my gosh, you guys, it's Monday again. They just keep coming, which is really good, I think, but not everybody enjoys Monday, but I hope that this is finding you well on Monday. It is June 23rd of 2025, and I'm so excited to be joining all of you today. Hi, Eric. Good to see you here. Michelle is here as well. Good morning, you two. Yes, it is Monday, and it is a bit of a heat wave, I understand, across the country. So I hope everybody isn't completely sweltering and melting and all of those things. Believe it or not, we actually had a few days of cool down here in Arizona. So we're a little bit cooler today compared to how we will probably be the rest of the summer. So I hope that everybody is staying as cool as they possibly can. Drink lots of water, put a fan on, get the air circulating. That will help. Even if you don't have air conditioning in your home and in your car, get the air moving and, drink lots of liquids, like a lot of water and electrolytes, and you should get through okay. And, maybe jewelry making might help a little bit. Let's see who's here. I see a lot of people popping on. Good morning, Kim Caldwell. Kat is here. Good morning. Oh no, Michelle says it was 40 degrees during the weekend. No way, Michelle, no way. That can't be. Joan in Phoenix, good morning. Joan knows what I'm talking about. Kimberly H says hello. Hi, Kimberly. Tina is here. Hazel is here. Good morning, Hazel. BJ says hot here in Ohio, 102 in Ohio. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Hannah says hello. Thanks, Hannah. This is one of my faves. My pink shirt. I love it. Kimberly H says, does Pepsi Zero count for drinking liquids? Well, it's probably good because it's zero, but probably won't hydrate you very well. So alternate, Kim. Alternate with water. Ruby Tatum says good morning to everyone. Janet says good morning. Laura D is here. She says good morning. Happy Monday to you too. Julie, hi sunshine. You know what I'm talking about too. Laura C from Fresno. I bet it's hot in Fresno. Cindy from North Carolina. Hello. Leah says hi from Maine. Maybe it's a little cooler in Maine. Maybe. Kimberly says, ha ha ha. Love you, Deb. Carolyn says on her way to the doctor. Linda Emery says hello to all of the crew. Ruby says, we have 104 air conditioner decided to start going out. Ruby, I feel you. We had that last weekend. It could be something simple, so hopefully they can come and get you fixed up. Donna says morning. Oh my gosh, you guys. Kat from PA says forecast is 94 today. I'm sure that's really hot for you guys. Oh my gosh. BJ, Lisa in PA, Michelle, good morning from New York. Wow. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. So it is June 23rd. It's the summer. We are all trying to muddle through, but I hope that there's some enjoyment for some of you. And today we're going to start our day right. So in case you don't know me, I'm Deb Floros. This is my show here at artbeads.com called Designing with Deb. We do a little bit of bead shopping, making things, a little chit chat, a great way to start your week. So I'm hoping that you will hang out with me for an hour or so today, and we're just gonna talk about things that we love, which is jewelry making. And so I thank you all for being here. Let's see. If you're watching live or you're watching the replay on June 23rd, don't miss out on the last day of the Dollar Days weekend. So we're extending the weekend through today so you can get $1, $2, and $3 deals. And if you watch this show regularly, you know I always check out that sale for you. So let me tell you what I saw. In the $1 deals, I saw jump rings. I saw tiara cast charms. Yes, tiara cast charms. And prestige cubes. So if you love crystal and you love cubes, those are available in the $1 category, $2 category. Earring findings, some post earring findings. Those are always great to grab. I found 1G, that beading thread that everybody loves. It is a great option, comes in lots of colors. That is available in the $2 category. I also found toggles in the $2 category. Never a bad time to stock up on toggles. And let's see, for the $3 category, amazing bugle beads, some Bali spacers, and checkmates, which I love to work with. So that sale is only going on through the end of today. So I hope that you all will pick up some goodies, find some fun things on sale. It's always a great time. If you go to artbeads.com, there's a banner at the top of the website. If you click on that, it will organize the sale by $1, $2, and $3 deals. So don't miss out. And you can always shop this show by clicking on the shopping bag. So there's a little funky little shopping bag icon on the screen. You can shop the show here at artbeads.com only here. So if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, you won't be able to shop as easily. If you're on Facebook, we'll put a code up top on the screen. You can enter that in the comments and then it will bring you over to artbeads.com. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click on the link in the description of the video and come on over. And it's so much easier to shop the show here because everything's all organized. If you don't want to wait for the shoppable links that pop up throughout the course of the show, that shopping bag is your deal. Click on that and you'll see everything that I put in the show today, and you can start loading it into your shopping cart and you don't have to leave the show. So that's how you do things here. And if you're watching on artbeads.com/live, that is the way that I can see comments and I can see the little hearts. I just saw a few. Thank you guys for doing that. What is Cindy saying? I don't like toggles because I have found a couple in parking lots and I'm afraid to use them. Or she's afraid to lose them. So Cindy, sometimes that's due to the construction of a piece and not necessarily the toggle itself. So I understand the concern, but maybe give some toggles a try. But there's so many other closures if you don't want to try. That's just, you know, it's quality, and can you get the right things, hopefully that won't happen to you. So I think I covered everything I wanted to cover before we pink. Let's start. What are we doing today? So I'm wearing a pink shirt today because this show is all about pretty in pink. Pink is my favorite color. I love pink. It is a color that means love and warmth and compassion, playfulness, joyfulness. And what better time to display pink, but in the summer when it is sunny. Maybe it's a little too hot, but it's going to cool down wherever you are, and that pink can just shine through, and you can show off the joy of wearing pink and showing off some pink in your jewelry designs. So I'm going to flip the camera down and we're going to get started and talk about some DIY jewelry designs in pink. So I thought I would show you my favorite pink scarf to start us off. This is such a beautiful pink scarf. One of my favorite things to wear when it's not hot is a scarf. And I'm going to show off, first of all, a couple of things that I've already made. And I'm going to show those to you and talk you through them, because the things that I used in these projects are really lovely, and I thought you all might need an idea or two. So here we go. So this is the first thing I put together for our Pretty in Pink show today here at artbeads.com/live. This is a beaded drop bracelet, and this is made with a Bead Llama limited edition check glass bead blend called Passion for Pink. And I absolutely love using these little drop beads in a design in this way. I love using beads that have interesting shapes and interesting movement, and of course, in pink. And this is absolutely such a beautiful bead blend. Now, take a look at this bracelet. So I'll set it up here so we can still see it. I want to show you how many beads I have left in my blend. So this is a little heart dish because I love pink. This little dish encompasses all the rest of the beads that I didn't use. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 36 drops in this bracelet, and look how many I've got left. There are also the cutest, tiniest little beads in here that I used as accent beads. They kind of look like a seed bead, but I'm not 100% sure they are. They might be an 8-0 seed bead. They're white lined, and I used them throughout the bracelet. I also used seed beads as well. So I used an 11-0 to frame those little beads in between. So I used another pink bead, and this is what I used. I used some Toho Treasures, and this color may look a little washed out with all of my lights in here, but this color is a perma-finish translucent silver lined soft pink. So this matched with this bead blend is so incredibly cute and cool. And I know not everybody loves pink, but let me tell you, if you don't like pink, you should try it. You should give it a try, stretch your design, and include some time with some pink beads. Now, I just put the beads in trios. You could do them singles all the way around. You could choose one color because look, you've got so many of these. You could use just this kind of milky pink. You could use this super cool bright pink. There's also this kind of, I don't know, this is a two-tone, and it's like pink and purple almost. And it's really a neat bead, a neat drop. There's also some frosty, frosty white drops that are really cool. And I forgot to show you these. Also intermixed in here are a few of these. I don't know what this shape is called, but it is so cool. So these are some really fun beads, interesting shapes, and you get all of these plus what I've used in this bracelet here. And I'm just crazy about this bracelet. It's very, very colorful and sweet and fun. So you can try to do something really cool and fun with this bracelet. And if you don't want to make a bracelet, you can use these beautiful drops in earrings. Gosh, you can dangle these from some chandelier findings, and you can just make some incredibly beautiful earrings, and pretty much anything jewelry related these drops can be used for. So I'm crazy about this blend. Again, this one is called Passion for Pink. And just like all of our other Bead Llama limited edition check glass blends, this is just for now, like until they're sold out, and then they're gone. So we've only got a limited number of these because we found these in the Art Beads warehouse, digging through some boxes, and we put all of these beautiful drops together for you. So when you get these home, you're going to go crazy because there are so many beautiful drops to work with. And pick up some of these light pink treasure 11O seed beads. They are gorgeous and they will look beautiful with this blend. So I'm going to put that way off to the side there. That's the first thing I made. And I thought another fun thing to talk about might be this Gollum bead that I found. So I'm a Gollum geek. And I found this on the Art Beads website. This is a gorgeous artisan bead by Gollum Design Studio. Gollum beads are made in Bulgaria, and they are just a stunning technique. I actually was able to witness them in person this end of spring, start of summer. And I got to witness how they make their incredible, beautiful beads in person. So seeing them being made me appreciate them so much more. This is one of their famous lentil style beads. And this one is just a beautiful flower. It's like a pink and almost a wine color. And I love the design. It's floral. It's perfect for spring and summer. And I did something that I think maybe you might want to try. If you've got Gollum beads at home or you're picking this one up today, I've mixed this Gollum bead with some Czech glass, some seed beads, and some teacup beads. So often when people are working with the Gollum beads, they see that there's this little indentation on either side of where the hole runs through the bead. And some folks struggle with designing with that visible wire or the, finding the right bead to fit into that little indentation there. So what I've done is I've actually created my pattern of beads, which includes some daggers and some rounds. And I've put seed beads throughout the whole design, which I often do. You guys know that. And I've used some 15Os here. And I'll show you the bead that I used, the seed bead that I used. You can use 11s as well. One of my favorite metallics is this nickel. So you probably have seen me use these a million times. I've used them in size 11 and size 15. These are 15s and it is that nickel color. These are Toho, incredible quality Japanese seed beads, gorgeous. So I used them throughout and I strung this so that the seed beads would go all the way through that Gollum bead. Then I used some teacup beads, which I also love, and I've used them in a couple places on the design. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. And so the teacup actually creates the same shape that hole is on the Gollum bead. So I thought that might be interesting to you guys. I'll show you what I mean. Here's the teacups that I used. They're a 4x2 millimeter Starman bead, and this is luster transparent topaz pink, and it is pretty transparent. And there's like a two-tone going on here. But if you've never worked with a teacup bead, these are literally like a little cup, like a little dish. They've got a hole through the center. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. And this is just a great bead for so many things. I think this has been kind of a bead that's been used mostly by seed beaders, seed bead designs, but I've been using this for over a year, maybe almost 2 now, in stringing designs. And I love that this little versatile teacup bead can do so many things. So in this case, with our Gollum bead, it's mimicking that same shape of the lentil, and it's allowing you to, just kind of almost mask that, that little indentation versus highlighting it where maybe your wire might be exposed. So the combination of the seed beads and the teacup beads is a really great way to work with a fun artisan bead from Gollum. So I used also in this design some really beautiful check glass beads. I love these. These are 6mm coral pink round beads, and they almost have like a little stripe through them, which is super cool. Like, I love the look of that. And I love this color. This is a beautiful color, pink. And if you're not a pink fan, this kind of corally pink really goes well with red and browns. And look at how well and nice this matched up to this bead. So I love these rounds. They're just a really interesting color pink, very saturated, very, very pretty. I also had to grab these amazing dagger beads. So these are really fun, really, really, really fun. These are 3x10 daggers. So they're really small daggers, and they're a coral pink brown. So they go nicely with the coral pink rounds, and then they also go nicely with the teacups. The teacups kind of have a brown to them as well, like a brown vein to them. So really, really interesting. So when I've got all of these things together, they just work. And I believe that if you combine two colors of the same color, you might not get what you're looking for, but the more you bring in, it actually all comes together. So look at, we've got some interesting movement. We've got some cool teacups. We've got those beautiful rounds. And I also did some of the little rounds as dangles on the back of the bracelet. And for the discussion we had about toggles earlier, look for a toggle that's got a nice long toggle bar. That is another tip for toggles. So that's my second piece that I made for our Pretty in Pink show today. I love everything, all the pieces and parts about this piece. I hope that you'll enjoy some of those as well. One other thing I made in advance, and this is something I have to apologize in advance. One of the parts is not available on artbeads.com. I looked all over for something like this and could not find it. So you may have a large lobster claw or some other way to connect something as a purse charm or an accent for your belt loop. But this fun piece I made with some really fun colors of pink, and I strung this on stringing wire. Now, I used some bar beads. So if you're not familiar with bar beads, let me show you what they are. And I've got two different shades here. So these are made by Starman, and they are really, really cool 6x2mm 2-hole beads. And these are a really fun little shape. So they look like a little flat bar. So maybe if you're familiar with Tila beads are a little bit longer and more square. If you're familiar with super duos are more of a chubby, a chubby oval with not such flat sides to them. So when these are used in a design, they look like a little flat bar. So these are really fun and interesting beads to work with. And most of the time you'll use these in designs with needle and thread. And I could have very easily done a needle and thread here, but I was just playing around and I thought, let's make some kind of an accent piece for a purse or something else. And I grabbed these are neon pink, which when we're talking about pretty in pink, you have to pull in the neon. I'm a girl of the 80s. I grew up as a teenager in the 80s. So there was a lot of neon pink in my life. So we did a matte coral pink bar bead, such a pretty soft pink. And then it is hot pink, Eric. And this one is neon pink. So look at the contrast of those. And you wouldn't think that they would go together, but look, they do. And I used some seed beads as well. So I'll show you the colors I used in here. When they all are together, they look so cool. So here are some Toho 11-0 rounds. This is opaque lustered baby pink. So this is a soft, sweet, shimmery, lustery seed bead. And Barbara says she would love to use these as earrings. Yes, there are so many things you can do with this combination of beads. I also brought in these. These are some of my favorite. These are treasures. And this is a perma-finish translucent silver lined hot pink. So we've got hot pink, neon pink, baby pink, and coral pink. And when I saw these together, I thought, I don't know, like, is that going to go together? And in fact, they do. Look at this combination. It is cheerful and joyful. And what created a little, a start of this design. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. I created a little trio of seed beads. And then I put all of the wire, the beading wire, through the first strand. So I did one hole of each of the bar beads and put the seed beads in between. So baby pink and what is that one called again? Hot pink. And then I turned the corner and brought the wire up through the second hole and added the seed beads in between. And then I did a flat crimp, which I don't normally do. I did a flat crimp through the other side. And then I just attached a large jump ring and this big, large lobster. And this can go onto a belt, onto a handbag. And I apologize, I could not find anything like this on the Art Beads website. Michelle says, I wonder if Deb knows about our hot pink designer wire. Michelle, I did not pick that up. I wish I would have thought of that. That would be great. That would also work for something like this. If you've got a thin enough gauge, like a 24 or a 26, you could do this with designer wire. And then you could just do a nice wire wrap loop up top. And you could even create your own hook and do something like that to attach to a bag or to your belt loop or whatever else you can attach this to, and you've got a really fun accent. And by the way, this also makes a really cool bracelet. So you could do a bracelet. Look at these beautiful pink colors. So pretty. Michelle, we should add the pink wire to the shopping bag so people can pick that up if they want to do more of their pink designs. All right, we are going to make something, guys. So I'm going to push that over to the side and I'm going to get my bead mat out. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. So we're going to do something really interesting, really fun, and we're going to use another limited edition Bead Llama Check Glass Bead Blend. And oh my gosh, I just realized I did not write down the name of this one. So Michelle or Eric, I'm sorry, I did not write down the name, but this is the bead blend we're going to work with. This is singing my song, all beautiful pink beads. And I've got more of them in my dish. So this is the whole kit and caboodle of this particular glass bead blend. It is all check glass. Some of this check glass is vintage. You won't find this bead blend anywhere else. It is exclusive to Art Beads, and there are so many fun, cool beads, cool shapes, and they're not all pink. Some of them are the tiniest, babiest pink. Ah, yes, Doll World. Thank you, Kat. Yes, I forgot. That's the only thing I forgot to write down before the show today. Well, I'm seeing something else I forgot to write down, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So this is just a fun collection of beads, and you can pull out just the ones that you like, or you can work with them all together. You know the drill if you've been watching us at artbeads.com. For a while, you probably know all about these exclusive bead blends. I always got to make a heart with the beads. There's a heart for you guys. Love you guys. So we're going to make an interesting necklace, and we're only going to use a couple of beads here. And what I want to do is use some antique brass chain, and we're going to do something really interesting. This is kind of the concept of, this is what gave me the idea. Thank you, Michelle. I see the wire up there. I love, love, love it. And let's see, Ambient and 1G have pink in the $2 sale. Linda, thank you. Oh my gosh, Linda, thank you for telling us that. There is 1G out there, and oh, I didn't realize Ambient was on sale as well. So $2, and you can get more pink and other colors too. So this is the wire or the chain that inspired this necklace today. So this is 11 millimeter antique brass plated chainmail chain. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Michelle is a chainmail fan. Maybe Michelle, am I remembering that right? This chain I've used in a couple of projects, but I had an idea for a necklace that's kind of fun and interesting and different. And we're going to use some of this today. And I'll show you how much we're going to use. We're just going to use a little bit. And I believe this is sold by the foot. So this is the little piece that we're going to use. It almost looks like a little caterpillar or something. And if you haven't used this chain before, it's little connections of wire with a jump ring running through it. And that's how you take this chain apart. In fact, I'll show you. Let me grab some pliers here, and I'm going to show you here. I've got the very end of this chain, and I'm going to pull it around, and the jump rings are open jump rings. So you should be able to see the split on that ring right there. So in order to take apart this chain and get, the section that you want, you can open this up. And let me see if I can do this. I actually need to, so I can grab it from the side here, get between the links and open that up. And that will allow you to take one of the links off like this. So all of the links look like this. So if I can get this to come off of here now, there we go. All the links look like this. They also open up, but this is how you can take them apart and then save these parts, you guys. This is a jump ring you can reuse. This is a component you can reuse. So if you're not using, when you take this apart, don't throw any of the pieces away because they can be reused. So that's how you use this chain. And I have just about, I think, let's measure this and see what we've got here. So this is about 1.5 inches of this chain. You can use a longer piece, a shorter piece, totally up to you. But what I want to do is create a fun, interesting chain necklace that encompasses some of our pink beads. So to celebrate, hi Denise, you're not late. You can always watch the beginning later. And we're just getting started with a project today. So we're going to take this chain, and then I've got another kind of chain here. If I can find the package. What did I do with the package? There it is. Here we go. This is a antique brass plated textured oval chain by the foot. Look at these beautiful textured links. Really lovely. So this is going to be the part of the necklace that will go around your neck. So I thought this was really, really pretty, and we're going to attach it up top here. So we've got 2 places to attach here. So I tested this on my neck. I cut the amount that I needed. I got 2 feet of this, and I'm going to use this for the back of the necklace. So let's start by attaching this chain to our little piece of chainmail chain. And I'm going to do that with some 4mm jump rings. Now, I think I had trouble finding some jump rings for this show. And so Michelle, if I don't have the right jump rings, my apologies, but I had a little trouble finding some jump rings that were 4mm. Maybe I was able to get them, but this is a 4mm jump ring. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open those up, and I'm going to take my chain and attach to that little piece of chainmail chain that we've cut or that we've pulled apart. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to grab that little link. You can start with the small link or the larger link, totally up to you. And then I'm going to attach it to one of the loops on this cool chainmail chain. So I'll show you this in 1 second. So that's looking like that. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take the other side, and I'm going to grab another jump ring and open that one up and come around and attach to the chain here. And then I'm going to come over to this other loop on the other side. Now, this looks a little bit wonky, but trust me, when you're wearing it, it's going to work just great. So here we've got our chain connected here. Now we're going to cut this a little bit later, or separate that a little bit later, so we can add our clasp. And I always, if you've seen me teach before, I always add more than 1 jump ring if I can. For me, it just creates a little bit more of a finished look, and it will give me a little bit more stability for my piece. Let me see. I'm going to come down here and attach to that loop. Hard to see. Actually, let me start with this side here. Start with that loop and grab this again and pull that into that loop. So it just creates a little bit more stability, especially when you've got a thin little chain link that you're working with. So I've got two jump rings in there because 2 jump rings will fit. And I just like to do that. It's just what a practice I like to put in place. You don't have to. You will probably be just fine with 1 jump ring, but I'm just OCD about that. So let me get this other one on And it's hard for me to see that little link there. There we go. And close that up just like that. So now we've got, this is how the necklace is going to hang. So we've got this here, this chain here, and then this is going to be like a little focal section, just like that. So now what I want to do is come in here and I want to add a couple of beads to this. So we're talking pretty in pink today. We're talking about pretty pink beads. And this is what I want to do. This bead is absolutely spectacular. It's got an AB finish on one side. Well, it's actually, you could see the AB on both sides, but the AB coating is here. And then this side of the bead is clear and it's picking up that AB finish. So it's got some like carvings in it. And it is such an incredible bead. So I love the idea of this bead coming off of one link. And then I've got more chain. And I want to take a piece of chain and have this piece of chain come down and have another bead hanging from it. So maybe this oval bead. And have that come down. So you've got a really avant-garde, interesting design to work with here. So I thought we could accomplish this by, first of all, attaching this bead directly to our chain. So the way we're going to accomplish that is a head pin. And I've got a pretty long head pin. And this is another thing, I don't remember if I got if I was able to find a 3-inch head pin, but I'm working with a 3-inch gold head pin. And I think I was able to put some head pins in the show. So I'm gonna put the bead onto my head pin, and then I'm going to grab my round nose pliers. And if you guys are in need of tools, I've got some tools in the show today. And if you want to see what all is in the show today, what you need to do is go to that little icon of a shopping bag. And that shopping bag will have everything that's in the show. You can literally take those items and drop them into your shopping cart. And you can also shop the show if you're watching the replay. So it doesn't have to be live for you to shop. So I've got a loop up top, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to see how those loops are hanging off of my chainmail chain, and I see that they're hanging this way. So I'm going to take my my head pin and drop it on to one of my loops. And then with my Xuron precision pliers, which I think the chain nose are sold out, the bent chain nose are available if I remember right. So I'm going to do a few wraps like that. And then I need to come in and cut off my excess. So let me grab that. And so now I've got, and I'm going to adjust I'm going to come in and adjust my loop here so that the bead will hang forward. So we've got, and that's tipping, it's pulling on all of that, but we're going to balance it by adding another bead to the other side. Okay. So that's fun and funky. And I'm also going to come in here and kind of clean up that little end of the wire. Just tuck that in a little bit. So there we've got our first bead, which is so beautiful. And then I want to add a little dangling bead from the other side. And let's see how this is going to look. Let's move our little pile of beads out of the way. So let's see how this looks. And oh, thank you, Denise. I don't know, this may not be everybody's cup of tea, but it maybe will spark some ideas for you. So this chain, let me find what this is called. This is a 2.5 by 3.5 millimeter antique brass square wire cable chain. So look at that. This is really cool chain. I mean, this is the kind of chain that you could do just about anything with. I like to do those bead and chain earrings. So this is a perfect bead and chain earring. I did that on a show way back, last year, kind of in one of my first shows. So this is cool chain. So I'm going to start before I cut it, because this is a kind of chain you'll need to cut. And I don't want to waste any. So I'm going to grab a jump ring here. I've got another 4 millimeter jump ring. And I'm going to open up this jump ring. And I'm going to put that chain, the last link of my chain, onto the jump ring. And I got to be able to see it to do it. I'm struggling with my eyesight this morning. There we go. So we've got our chain on the jump ring, and now what I want to do is come over and attach it to the other loop at the bottom of my chainmail piece. So we just drop that jump ring right on, and we're going to close that jump ring up nice and secure. And you can do a second jump ring if you would like. I actually think we can only do one here. So that two jump rings may not work too well. It would be too, it wouldn't allow enough movement. So because this bead is chunky, it's gonna crowd anything that's sitting next to it. So hence the chain is going to allow us to put another bead on. And I want it to have clearance past this bead here. So I want to add another bead, and I am crazy about this little just simple oval glass bead. It is a pretty baby pink. It is very translucent, really pretty bead. And I'm just going to put this on a head pin. So I need another one of my head pins, and you can use a flat head pin, or you could use a ball end head pin if you want a little something extra at the bottom. You could make your own head pin if you want. So here is my little, thank you for the hearts, you guys. So here's that beautiful, simple bead. And I think, so this is what I want to just kind of see how it will look first. So I think maybe like right about here might be nice, maybe a little bit longer. So I think I'm good to cut this. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut a link. And sometimes, unfortunately, your chain does not have an open, an open link for you to save every piece. So this one you do have to sacrifice a link, unfortunately, but we got to do it to use it. So here's our bead. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wire wrap directly onto that chain. So you could also do a wire wrap loop here and attach with another jump ring if you're more comfortable with that. So I'm going to create my loop here and get my loop all ready to go. Open that up. And then I'm going to come in and take the end of my chain and I'm going to drop that head pin on. And so now I'm attached to the chain, and then I'm going to come in with my chain nose and I'm going to hold on to my loop and just do a few wraps around. Get that bead nice and secure onto the chain and snip off my excess. And then I just need to clean up and tuck in that little end of the wire and straighten out my loop. And so we've got a really interesting avant-garde sort of cool piece of jewelry here with our fun dangly pieces. Now, if you wanted to, another idea for you. I'm not going to do this because I love this just like this. Let me move these out of the way for a second. You could come in with some of these rounds and you could add them to some of the links up here. So if you wanted to do that, you could add those up here. So let me see if I can show you that a little bit closer up. So you could do something like this, adding them because you've got lots of loops here to add things to. So this chainmail chain allows you to do some really fun things. These are some really cool beads from this blend, and they are like a corrugated bead. And also, if you don't like the beads that I picked for this fun avant-garde kind of interesting necklace, you could use these. So you could grab one of these. You could use these bellflowers. There are bellflowers in here, which is one of my favorite shapes. So this is fun and interesting. The last thing I have to do here to finish this off is add a closure. And I thought I might show you how I do this. So when I added this chain, I did not cut it. So I just literally measured the chain around my neck and said, okay, this is the right length. But then I want to come in and figure out where I would add my closure up top. So what I like to do, this is hard to show because I can't fit all of it in the shot that you can see. But here's my piece, and I'm stretching it out and I'm pulling it down and I'm figuring out that this link right here is the center point. It's the center of this piece. Thank you so much, Barbara from Alabama, I think. Oh, thank you so much. This is the link that we need to cut. And I know it's sad. We got to cut it. I'm going to hold on to it, trim it up, make sure none of those pieces go flying. And then what I want to do is get a clasp. And I found this antique brass lobster claw. I thought this would be perfect for the style of the chain. Those links just look really nice with this shape of a lobster. Just kind of goes really nicely with it. So I need another jump ring. And I think I can use another 4mm here. Let's make sure we can do that. And I'm just going to connect this lobster right to the chain. So here's my piece of chain. And I've got that smaller link. If you're more comfortable with a larger link, you can trim off that little short link. And these lobsters, you just drop your ring right around that little loop at the end. If you've never worked with this shape of a lobster before, and you can come around here and close up your jump ring like so. Get that nice and tight. I probably could add a second, and I think I'm going to. You know my rule. If you can fit another one, you can add another one, and I always will try to do that. Just makes it a little bit more stable. So I'm going to come in around, I think it will fit. Yes, okay. Get that around that metal loop and then add it onto the chain, and might be a little tight. Yeah, you know what? It is a little bit tight, but I think I can still get it closed up. Let's try. Sorry if that's a little off camera there. So get that nice and shimmied closed like so. You know what? That really doesn't work at all. All right, well, it was an experiment. I'm going to leave it on because it's actually kind of stuck in there now. But that is how you would attach. So you find your center point and add your lobster. Then what I need to do is add a larger jump ring up here. And I did not pull out a large jump ring. So I'm sorry guys, I'm running behind me and grabbing my jump ring box. And Michelle, I did not add to the show a larger jump ring, I don't think. And I'm looking to see what I've got in my stash. So sorry about that. But I've got a larger jump ring. I would say this one's just a tad too big, but I know putting a lobster claw on, a necklace on behind your neck, you need to grab onto something that feels big. So this one might be just a touch too big. I might go a little bit smaller. But you could actually attach directly to one of these rings if you're comfortable with that. Or you can grab a large jump ring, like a big one like this. And then when you're grabbing the necklace behind your neck, you feel this large piece. And then you can take your lobster, attach, and you've got something behind your neck that's not visible, but something that will allow you to put on this fun, funky, avant-garde, cool piece with just a couple of beads from that bead blend. So we have all of these beads left. Look, all of this. So you can make all kinds of pretty and pink designs, floral designs. Look at the beads in here. They are just beautiful. So I'm going to put this on off camera. I'm going to let you stare at those beads, and I'm going to show you what this looks like on when I flip the camera up. And just a reminder of other projects I showed off today. We've got this little purse charm or, a belt loop enhancer. We've got a Gollum bead project with an interesting way to work with the Gollum beads. And we have this a very cool teardrop bracelet with all kinds of fun beads from one of the Bead Llama bead blends, this guy. So let me put all of that in front of you for a moment. And I'm going to flip the camera up. I think this might be kind of hard to see on what I'm wearing, but this is how this necklace will look. You've got a lovely thin chain, you've got this fun focal, and then you've got these fun beads hanging down here. Really just different and interesting, and you can customize this with any beads that you choose. So maybe you don't like the pink beads, maybe you don't like the beads I chose, maybe you want to pick this one, a round bead. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Julie P. I mean, it's just different and fun. I might wear this with something that's not so busy, maybe just a simple white t-shirt, but such a fun piece. I just envisioned this the minute I pulled out this chain. So this is fantastic chainmail chain. I did a project last year using this as a bracelet. It was a mixed metals project. Thank you, Mary. And you can do so many things. You can make earrings with this. So I don't know, maybe we'll pull this out again and we'll do something more with it. And the options are endless. So guys, I suggest, because some of these things are limited edition and limited quantities, don't forget to check out from your cart. So do that now so that you don't miss out on these things. If you come back later and your cart is empty, you're going to be so sad. So, thank you, Laura D. And Denise says she's going to do a bracelet. Do a bracelet, Denise. I would love to see you do a bracelet. And as always, guys, please share what you make. So we have a Facebook group, Serious Art Beater. So put that into your search bar in Facebook and you will find the group, and you can join us. We will approve you and get you in so that you can show off what you've made. Show me your pretty and pink designs. Show me what pink beads you love from the show today, and pink beads that you may already have. Show us what you've made with all of the lovely things you've got from artbeads.com. So don't forget to close out those carts today. there are some more fun things coming your way this week. I know that the design team has some fun things all ready and cooked up for you. And I'll be back next week. I have something fun next week for you too. Maybe not quite as weird as this one, but you never know what I'll cook up. We'll have something fun to make. And I hope you all have a wonderful and creative week. I will see you again next week. Have a great day, you guys. Stay cool. Bye, everybody.